The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, REALTOR SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest from my home state, Texas. As a matter of fact, San Angelo, Texas, and now it sounds like Dallas, Texas. Halle McCrory, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Tim?
I'm doing fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first question I ask everybody. This would be the only question that everybody gets.
Okay.
Were you a young lady of 5 years old tugging on your parents' pants string saying, how do I become a realtor? Or
no.
are you like most of us, where we just kind of fell backwards into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was actually a realtor, and I'm best friends with my mom, always have been, but I was like, I'm paving my own path. I'm not going to do what she does. And of course, here I am. So
Here you are, yeah.
she's not a realtor anymore, but she was for a few years growing up. And so I would always, go around to showings with her. And then she was a lender for a little bit too, during 2008, actually. So that's interesting to hear now, her perspective on things. Yeah, I know, right? She was like, it was crazy. We could pick our own appraisers and stuff. I'm like,
yeah, I was appraising houses myself. I didn't even care.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time. I was in Dallas then, as a matter of fact. I lived in Dallas during. So how did you get started? If you don't mind me asking me, is you just decided I'm going to pick it up, and did you start at EXP? Which I didn't know, as a matter of fact. Or what's the story there?
Yeah, so I'm from North Carolina, went to school at Wake Forest University. So I tell people like Tim Duncan and Chris Paul, because everybody from Texas knows them, but not necessarily Wake Forest, because it is kind of a smaller school. It's actually surprising. It's, has ACC title and stuff. But yeah, so I graduated from there, got a job in tech sales, actually. So I worked for Oracle in Austin. So that's how I got to Texas. And then met my husband there, and he was living in San Angelo. He's a builder. So he's the big influence for me to get into real estate. But yeah, basically I could move, he couldn't. Said I'd never move for a guy, but I don't know, I had a gut feeling about it. And at the time, I got a great opportunity to work in pharmaceutical sales, which is what I thought I wanted to do coming out of college, and that tech sales was just a stepping stone in between. So it all seemed like it was working out. And then a year later, after I moved to San Angelo and was doing pharmaceutical sales, I got laid off. And, that was really, really scary. But at the same time, I wasn't in love with pharmaceutical sales like I thought I would be. Yeah, there just wasn't a ton of opportunity in San Angelo at the time for other like corporate jobs per se. And that's what I thought I had to really go that route, since I was, just spent all this money on school, just spent 4 years of my life, grinding for a degree. And then when my husband, brought up the idea for me to get into real estate, I was like, what? No, I'm not going to have any benefits. I'm not going to have like a guaranteed salary. Even though I've been in sales, it just I wasn't in the mindset for it. But once he said it and I really started thinking about it, I was like, I really think I could do well at this. Even like internships I've had have all been sales. And even though now I know real estate is a totally different type of sales, I decided to go for it and prove, even my parents were like, they're both entrepreneurs, but they were really pushing hard for me to stay in that corporate route. And yeah, just as soon as I started, I loved it, and yeah, made it happen. Exactly. And now there's no going back.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Yes, it was all meant to be. Yeah.
Moving into the Dallas market, that's a huge deal.
I'm very excited.
Much bigger market. Not to pick on San Angelo, I have been there before.
Yes. No, San Angelo is
pretty small market compared to Dallas, for sure.
Right. We're only about 110 people or 110,000 people. Average sales price is like 220. So you really got to do a lot of volume to, to keep up with the other agents in, let's say in Dallas, who are their average price is like $1 million. I'd say. I mean, it's
depending on,
it'll be
are you going to Highland Park?
pretty much. Actually, yes.
Yeah, I figured that's where a lot of builders are doing tear down rebuilds, things like that. You know, my parents live in Capel. So
okay, cool.
yeah. So I know Dallas backwards and forwards. I met my wife there. All 4 of my sons were born there. Yeah, I backwards, forwards, and sideways. So
well, let me know anytime you come back and visit.
For sure, for sure. Well, my wife's there right now, as a matter of fact. Unfortunately,
oh my gosh,
funeral. Unfortunately, but yeah, her mom passed away. But that's beside the story. Let's not go that direction.
Yes. Sorry.
So no, it's okay. It's my fault. I was just like thinking, okay, why are we talking about that? Oh yeah, my wife's there.
Yes.
So getting back to being in San Angelo, where you are right now, getting ready to make this move to, and I don't need to know personals, but I guess you're both going to move into the Dallas area, and you're going to start real estate in Dallas, and then keep the San Angelo program, correct? I mean, you're going to still list homes.
I mean that whole transition probably won't be for a while, and we don't know if we want to stay in San Angelo or stay in Dallas yet. But our plan as of now is to maybe have 2, like a townhome here, townhome there.
There you go.
And then travel back and forth as needed. So
yeah, fantastic. So it sounds like to me, or I'm making a slight assumption, I apologize, that you're a solopreneur, or are you on a team?
So I do have my own team now.
Okay.
I've got 8 people on my team. And that's all thanks to EXP, since I'm about 3.5 years in Texas, you need to be 4 years to be a broker. So I will apply for that, but I'm planning to stay with EXP. Ever since switching, I switched about 1.5 years ago, and the trajectory of my business has just absolutely exploded. So
many tools, right? So many tools.
Yeah, I'm loyal now.
Ways.
Yes, exactly.
I always make the joke, the greatness about EXP is, I mean, realistically, and other big box names can do this too, and they do. But you don't even have to sell a home. I mean, as funny as that sounds, I mean, you could join the organization.
Mike Sherrard, look at him.
There you go. Yeah, and you could just recruit, you could just train, you could just do so many different things, because everybody's a team, right? I mean, everybody's pulling people in the line and stuff like that. Wonderful company for sure.
Yeah.
So now we did talk about the future a little bit. I mean, we talked about what in the near term looks like what's happening, which is a great fit with your husband, obviously him being a builder and you being a realtor. I see how that works. That's fantastic. Now, but what's the long-term goal? So let's talk about the team, like what would you like to see in the next 1, 3, 5 years as far as your team goes, your downline, or whatever that might be?
Right. Yeah. So I obviously I can recruit almost anywhere for anybody to be on my team. I do want to create a strong Dallas team if I'm going to be there. So that is the plan. End of this year, I hope to hit 40 agents. I'm really going at it hard. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going through a rebrand right now. I can't say what it's going to be yet, but it'll be, so like right now my branding's all Halle's Homes, and that's what that's just what I came up with when I first got into real estate. But now we sell yeah, but I'm just one of those people. I want everybody to be able to promote it themselves and not, I don't know, I don't quite feel comfortable with it being my name anymore. And especially with homes, we do commercial, we do farm and ranch as well. So it's not just homes anymore. So I feel like we've almost graduated from that name and now need to move into something else. So yeah, I'm excited to announce that very soon.
Nice. Well, I look forward to hearing more about that and seeing how that comes to fruition for sure.
Yes. So I'm excited.
Like you were talking about your mom being a realtor at one time, in 2008 or around that time. And things were a little different then. I mean, the internet hadn't been around as long, it had, but we weren't using it the way we are now. How do you use, I mean, are you boots on the ground or more digital? I mean, because I talked to some agents that are pure digital, they wouldn't put a door hanger out to save their life, which I'm not knocking that. That's fine, because I
Yeah.
wouldn't go door to door like they used to. But what's the primary way you find clients now?
I'm kind of a half and half type person, and not in the sense of door knocking. I'm
Mhm.
a very involved person in the community. That solely sourced from the insecurity when I first got started in real estate that I wasn't from
Right,
this town. And there were so
right,
many agents here. It's a small town. Everybody knows everybody for the most part. So I made it a mission to go out and pretend like I was running for mayor.
right.
So I joined literally.
It's smart though. I love that mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, and volunteering has always been a big value for me growing up. So I went out and joined junior league. And at the same time, like found my group of girlfriends. I joined all these other different organizations that I felt passionate about, started going to chamber events, and really like, I think for the chamber, I mean, the chamber is huge, even in a small town. So I
Yeah.
kind of niched down into the young professionals aspect. And now I'm on the board, I'm vice president, and I've gotten a lot of connections, just doing stuff like that and doing it consistently. And then at the same time, I'm very heavy on social media. So Facebook and Instagram primarily, but now that we can have these ways to repurpose content, I'm also posting it on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and utilizing hashtags. And we're in a military town, so I'm always making
Right.
sure to utilize the hashtags, and a lot of people find me that way too.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you have to do, right? A little bit of
Yeah, so
everything.
it's definitely a mix, and that's exactly my plan going into Dallas too.
Tell me this, on a day to day, we all encounter hurdles that we have to overcome. Not
Hmm.
necessarily problems. I can't stand using the word problems. It's a problem if you make it a problem, but
Right.
in our industry wise, nothing personal. Industry wise, we don't run into hurdles. What would you say might be your biggest hurdle? Sometimes it's time, sometimes it's, I wish I had a doppelganger of myself to do, twice as much. What are some of the hurdles you run into that, if I had a magic wand I could fix for you, what would that be?
It's really the time aspect, and I guess just the yeah, like you want to be everywhere and be everything for everyone at all times. I think realtors have a tendency to be people pleasers. I mean, like you said, a lot of our job is fixing problems every day that arise. That's just the nature of the industry. But at the same time, as soon as I felt like I couldn't grow anymore in my business, that's when I brought on my assistant. And now she's like, I call her my operations manager because she helps
Right.
me with all the stuff that she can, really. Like anything that she can help with, I'm trying to delegate to her. And even that's been a hurdle too, like letting go of some stuff, giving up control, but I trust her now. So
Yeah, it's absolutely positively the only way you grow, right? Is giving up
yes.
some of those, I always say like it's those infantile things, those things we stick to when we first start. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, I have to do all this paperwork. I have to make sure it's all right because I have to make this close happen this week or whatever it is.
Yes.
That's me. Like, I gotta have this happen. Once you start letting that stuff go and start trusting someone, it's like I look at it kind of like different levels open up for you, and then you get to a different level that you didn't even know existed.
Truly. Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't mean to.
Truly.
Once again, I don't mean to knock San Angelo, but when you get to Dallas, and you're going to be like, oh wow, there's a whole world like the there's this whole world that didn't exist before, not because it's San Angelo, it's just because that market is so big, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that
Exactly.
market that you'll probably be working in, if it is the Highland Park area or any of those areas, they act differently, it's just different, but
Yeah.
it's awesome,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a whole different world. I could tell you stories, that's what I'm saying. Uh,
Yes.
I can tell you
Love
some
it.
easy stories. Tell me this, and then we'll kind of get into some final thoughts. When it comes to your team,
Hmm.
what do you look for? Obviously, production agents, it's one thing, but when it
Hmm.
comes to your ops manager, you were talking about, or you call it your ops manager, when it comes to those folks, what are you really looking for? Those people that are going to ride the bus with you, like I like to call it.
Yeah. Really, my number one thing, and I feel like I can kind of tell how they are in conversations, but it's really like a positive mindset. I've had some people, or I've worked with some people in the past that are really negative, or like have a victim mindset, like nothing's ever their fault. It's always someone else's fault. I can't work with someone like that. They've got to be self-starters, have a positive attitude. Any opportunities are, open to them if they think they are. And so that's who I've worked with really well in the past. And I think people like that are the best in real estate, and sky's the limit. If they're, and now it really even isn't, like we're getting, talking real estate on the moon now. So
right.
yeah,
Get those deeds out.
I know.
So I mean, and that is building that persona of who that is. How do you find them? I mean, I have difficulty finding people all the time. I mean, there's a lot of them that want to jump in the boat, but as I'm culling, like I use fishing analogies because I live on the water, but
Yes.
yeah. As I'm culling people out, what do you how do you find people for your organization? Is it more people like in your sphere?
Well, a lot of people on my team now are in San Angelo, but it really has been people in my sphere. But like I said, I can get a gut feeling about it when we go and,
Gotcha.
have coffee, have lunch, just start asking them questions about themselves. And I feel like you can kind of tell based on answers which way they're kind of going with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You throw trick questions at them, don't you?
Not trick,
You give them riddles.
but kind of, I guess. Yeah.
If this happens, what do you do?
Yeah.
I panic. No, you can't. You're right. You ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers, right?
I think so. Mhm.
Yeah. How the hell would someone get in touch with you?
Easiest way, you can call me, text me. I'm always answering Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs. I'm at Halle's Homes on everything, HALLESHOMES. That's probably, Instagram's probably the quickest way to get a hold of me. That's my jam. I love it.
Perfect. Perfect. So I always say, Halle, you are the hit record and I'm just a DJ spinning the record, right? And so take us out. We got a couple of minutes left, or a minute or two left. Take us out the next minute or two and tell us what's ever on your heart, your mind, your soul that you'd like to share with everybody, either about your business, your family, your dogs, something you feel compelled to share with everybody else that's important to you, or any organization you may be involved with.
Yes. Well, and I think there's probably a lot of newer agents on, listening to your podcast, trying to become an icon of real estate.
Right.
My biggest advice, and this is really what I live my business by. Of course, we're all in this to make a living. We want to provide for ourselves and for our families. But when it comes to real estate, and I think just business in general, always put your clients first, do the right thing, and the money will come. Truly. Well, and I'm going to add in there, work hard. So put your client first,
Right.
And don't think about the money. Put your client first, work hard. And what was my other one? Gosh.
It's always
Do the right thing.
right?
Yes. It's very likely that you're going to get caught, if you do something shady in this business. Just this day and age, it's easy to track things down.
Right.
And I think people can get lost when they're thinking about the money first. So that's my advice. And I hope
that is great
people
advice.
can follow that.
Yeah, that's great advice for sure. Halle Beeler McCrory, eXp Realtor, San Angelo, Texas, soon to be Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really enjoyed it. I look forward
Thank
to
you for having me, Tim. You're awesome. Love
Good
your
luck.
energy.
Yeah, good luck in Dallas. Really, I'm excited for you. That's going to be a good time. To your husband as well and his new endeavor up there. Awesome stuff. We'll catch up soon though, and thank you for being on the program.
Thank you too. I appreciate it.